What's going on, everyone? My name is Jasmine. On today's episode of the Slam Project, we're going to be talking about the 2003 disappearance of Sylvia Ann Guiboche. She was 20 years old when she was last seen on the streets of Winnipeg, and she wasn't reported missing for a few months after that, so a lot of sources list her age as 21. And there's some other discrepancies on her case, and I'm going to try my best to sort through those in this video. But if you knew Sylvia and can provide any clarification or insight on her case, please leave a comment down below. Don't forget to check out my other videos, and if you want to see more videos on missing and murdered Indigenous people, click that subscribe button and the notification bell. Now let's get right into it. Sylvia Ann Guiboche was born on July 7, 1982, to her mother Myrna, and they were from Swan River, Manitoba. There are conflicting details reported by the media surrounding her disappearance. For instance, where she was originally from, the date she disappeared, her age, her due date, and the fact that she was reported as not having a fixed address when she had an apartment at the time she went missing. Another alarming fact is that newspaper reports about her disappearance call her a missing prostitute in the headlines. Although this most likely is true about her, the prostitute label leaves an impression that she was doing this willingly. The way most MMIW are portrayed in the media reflects them in a bad light compared to other missing and murdered people. This often has a dehumanizing effect, and the public and police will often pass judgment and show lack of concern. While growing up in Swan River, Sylvia was very close with her mother and sister Nicole. I have read that Sylvia is Métis, or that she is from Sapotawaya Cree First Nation. Both could be true, but I am not entirely sure. Soon after reaching adulthood, Sylvia had begun a relationship with a man who was abusive to her. Her mother Myrna said that she did not know where she met this man, and that Sylvia never brought him home to meet her family. Abusers often gain full control of their victims by isolating them from their families, and Sylvia eventually moved away to be with him to Brandon, Manitoba. She became pregnant and gave birth to her daughter Tina. Her sister Nicole traveled to Brandon to be with Sylvia when she gave birth. She shared on the series Taken that she was the one who cut the cord, and that Sylvia was sad because she could not breastfeed her baby. She also said that Sylvia was a good mother and that Tina was her pride and joy. Myrna said that Sylvia's boyfriend was not there during the birth, and that she called his grandma to state that she wanted him to stay away from Sylvia because he was abusive to her when she was pregnant. I am unsure if the boyfriend ever stayed away from her after this. Sylvia and her baby went to Swan River around Christmas 2002 and saw her family for the last time. Myrna said that while Sylvia was visiting, she went to work, and when she came home around 3 a.m., Sylvia and her granddaughter were gone. She knew immediately that Sylvia had gone to Winnipeg to be with her boyfriend. I should also note here that I have also read that Sylvia moved to Winnipeg to get away from her abusive boyfriend, but either way, that's where she went. When she arrived in Winnipeg, Sylvia had moved into an apartment on Furby Street. But soon after arriving in the city, Sylvia began using soft cocaine, then became addicted to crack, and was then sexually exploited. As a result, her daughter was taken away from her. Even though she had family in Winnipeg, there was not a good support system for Sylvia there. These family members would later tell Myrna that they had seen her daughter working on the street corners and that she was very noticeably pregnant. This angered Myrna because she wondered why her family never tried to offer help to Sylvia or ask her if she was okay. Nicole told CBC that Sylvia was hanging around a group of people who were not named in the article, and that they got her addicted to street drugs. She ran up a drug debt for them and was forced to sell herself in order to provide payment. Although Sylvia was deep into her addiction, she still made arrangements to visit her daughter Tina, who was in CFS care. Constable Christina Bergen, who worked with Project Devote when they were still in operation, said that Sylvia showed up for a visitation on Friday, June 13, 2003. According to the constable, someone then had spoken to Sylvia on Sunday, June 15th. She never said who spoke to her or if it was in person or over the phone. And after this, contact with Sylvia seems to go dark. Around this time, Nicole said Sylvia had called her and said she wanted a bus ticket home. But Nicole did not have any funds for at least 3 more days, so she was unable to help Sylvia at the time, and she never called back. Myrna or Nicole had not heard from Sylvia for some time, and they were growing more concerned each day. Myrna was still living in Swan River, which was just over 500 kilometers away, and could not do much from there but call Winnipeg police. She called them on Wednesday, October 8, 2003, to report Sylvia missing and express concern because Sylvia was pregnant. After taking her information over the phone and putting it into the computer, their response to Myrna was that Sylvia had been arrested one time prior for prostitution. The next day, on October 9th, investigators informed surrounding police agencies about Sylvia's disappearance and interviewed people who knew her in Winnipeg. They also visited places where Sylvia was known to hang out. A week later, on October 17th, there was a full media release on her disappearance. Several tips came in, but nothing was ever confirmed. The next day, on October 18th, there was an article in the Winnipeg Sun. In big bold letters it said, "Police search for prostitute." Then right under that it says, "Pregnant woman missing since July." It then goes on to state that Sylvia was known to hang around Sargent and Ellis Avenues in the west end of Winnipeg, and the area is known for sex worker activity. The article then says that she was about 8.5 months pregnant and that she may have left the city willingly. Another notation here, I have seen a few reports saying that her due date was actually in September 2003. I am unsure which due date is true, but if the September one is correct, by the time the media release came out in the newspaper in October, she would have already given birth. It also says that she had no fixed address, and that she was believed to be missing since mid-July. This time frame is about a month after Sylvia was known to be at her last visit with her daughter. This article and another in April 2004 are the only times mid-July was ever mentioned, so I am unsure if this was just a reporting error or what caused the newspaper to use this date. Why didn't the CFS social worker report Sylvia missing before her mother did in October 2003? She was known to visit her daughter and she cared a great deal for her. When she did not check in for some time, the social worker should have tried to contact her instead of just assuming she did not care about Tina. I do understand that resources can be limited, but a simple phone call to Sylvia or a quick stop by her apartment could have provided valuable information about her disappearance or activity around the time she was last heard from. Winnipeg police released a Crime Stoppers video reenactment of Sylvia's disappearance on June 10, 2013. But its accuracy is up for debate. In the video, it says that a family member and a friend stopped by Sylvia's apartment on June 13, 2003, which is the same day that she visited her daughter. These people asked Sylvia if she wanted to go out and party with them. She declined because a friend was coming over. These people returned to the apartment the next day and nobody was home. But investigators have confirmed that Sylvia was still around because she had contact with someone the next day on June 15th. On the Taken episode, Nicole said that Winnipeg police never told the family about the details of the family member and friend going to Sylvia's apartment before the episode aired. In the same episode, Myrna said that she could not go into detail, but she is suspicious of some of her family members who were in Winnipeg when Sylvia vanished. These family members in Winnipeg also did not report Sylvia missing to the police. They would have noticed her absence from not seeing her around or speaking with her before her family realized something was wrong in Swan River. There has been absolutely no trace of Sylvia in the 21 years she has been missing. Winnipeg is a harsh city for MMIW cases, and bodies have been showing up in the Red and Assiniboine rivers, rural outskirts, and local landfills for years. Could Sylvia have been picked up by a violent predator? Could someone she knew have done something bad to her? Was she trafficked to a faraway place? Did someone take her away to target her unborn child? The possibilities are endless, and all are equally terrifying. The Winnipeg police have stated that her abusive boyfriend is not a suspect in her disappearance. Sylvia's family also endured another tragic missing persons case in their family. 7 years after she vanished, her cousin Amber Guiboche also disappeared off the streets of Winnipeg. I featured her in episode number 6 and explored the idea Amber's case was connected to 4 other MMIW cases. Sylvia was 20 years old in June 2003 when she disappeared. She was 5 feet 4 inches tall and about 110 pounds when she was last seen. Her ears are pierced and there is a scar on her right arm. Please contact the Winnipeg Police Service with any information you have about the disappearance of Sylvia Ann Guiboche. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you knew Sylvia, please share any memories of her, and I will see you in my next video.